Badge number 4, tests. Create a test in Unit 2 folder. We'll click on the course content link in the course menu and then click on the Unit 2 folder. Once in the Unit 2 content folder, we'll go under Assessment and then down to Test. From here, we'll create a new test and click on the Create button. And we'll give this a name of Unit 2 Test. And we'll click Submit. From here, we want to open the question settings by going up to the top right of the screen here and click on Question Settings. Here we want to set the default point value to 2. So we'll scroll down here and we can see right here it's checked specify default value when creating questions. We'll change it from 10 to 2. And then click Submit. Now we're going to create our first question. It asks us to create one multiple choice question. So I'll go up here to the Create Question and go down to Multiple Choice. Here I will give it a name, Unit 2 Multiple Choice. Again, you can give it whatever name you want. And I'm going to type in some text. For this example, I'm asking the question, what is the best color? Again, you could put in whatever text you want here. And then in this, it says to set answer numbering and show in random order. So I'm going to set answer numbering here, and I can select whichever one I want. I'm just going to use the lowercase letters. And then it also asks us to show in random order. So I click on this setting right here. As I scroll down here, I'm going to start putting in my answers. So pink, blue, paisley, floral, and then I'm going to indicate the correct answer selection. So I'll go up here and I want blue to be my correct answer. So I select the correct answer by clicking on this little correct answer. Okay, and from there I scroll back up to the top and I check everything looks good and click Submit. Next, it wants us to create one true-false question. So I go back to Create Question and I go down to True-False. And I'm going to call this Unit 2 True-False. And then again, you can write whatever text you want in the question text box. And for this example, I'm going to put in the statement, blue is the best color. And then I'm going to select whether it's true or false. I'm going to make it true because I love blue. And then I'm going to click Submit. And then it wants us to create one essay question. So I'm going to go down here, back to Create Question. I'm going to go down to Essay. And here I will call this Unit 2 Essay. I'll put in the text I would like. And for this example, I'm going to type in, please explain why blue is the best color. Cite 2 sources. And then I'm going to click Submit. Next, it's going to ask us to update the point value. So the first one is by question type essay, 10 points. So if I go right here and I select by type right here, I go down to essay and I enter 10 points. And then I click Update. You'll see now, instead of default of 2, it now has 10 for the essay question. Next, it asks us to change by individual question, change a question to extra credit. So I'm going to go down and make my true false the extra credit question. So I'm going to click over here in this little field where the 2 is, and when I click in there, it expands, and I could see I could make this extra credit. So by selecting this little checkbox and then clicking Submit, it's now listed as extra credit. Next, we want to deploy test in the Unit 2 folder. So from the Unit 2 test page, we'll click on the course content link in the course menu, and then click into the Unit 2 folder. From here, we'll go up to the assessment button, and then scroll down and then click on test. You will now see that the Unit 2 test is now listed as an existing test, and if you want to add it in the Unit 2 folder, it's right here. We click on it, it's highlighted in blue, it's selected, and then we click the submit button. From here, we're going to edit some of the settings. The first one is to make test available. Yes, so we'll scroll down here, and here's test availability. Make available to students, and we'll click this to yes. The next setting is set multiple attempts. So right down here, we'll turn on multiple attempts, and then it says set multiple attempts to 3. So we're going to turn on the number of attempts and then set that to 3. Next, it asks us to do not check force completions. We're going to skip this whole force completion area. We'll keep scrolling down the page. It wants us to set the timer to 30 minutes, so we'll turn on the set timer and we'll make this 30 minutes and then auto submit on. So right here under auto submit, I'll click that on. Next, it wants us to set display dates. Make sure display after is in the past, so it will be available to preview students. So I will click on the display after and choose a time and date in the past. And then next it says show test results and feedback to students. So I have to scroll down until I get to the show test results and feedback to students portion of the page. And it says, and by default, it says after submission. It wants us to change it to after attempts are graded. We do that by clicking right here and selecting after attempts are graded. Keep scrolling down to the bottom here, and then under test presentation, it wants us to have the questions show one at a time, and then to turn on prohibit backtracking. So I do that by selecting one at a time and then prohibit backtracking, and then I click on the submit button. Next, we're going to make edits to test options. That's this section right here of the batch number 4 sheet. To do that, we'll go to Unit 2 tests and click on the little circle with the drop down arrow, and we'll go to edit the test options. And then it's asking us to add a user exception. So we scroll down to the part of the page where I can do test availability exceptions. And I'm going to add a user, and I'm going to make sure that I select the preview user. And then I'm going to set the timer to 60 minutes instead of the 30 here. And then it wants us to do a change to the test presentation. So I'm going to scroll down to the test presentation area right here, and we're going to randomize questions. So we're going to click on the little checkbox next to randomize questions and then click on the submit button. From here, we're going to enter student preview. So I'll go up here to the little eyeball in the top right of our screen, click on that to enter student preview, and then it wants us to complete the test under student preview. So I'll go here to the course content, click on that in the course menu, then navigate to Unit 2 content folder, then down to Unit 2 test, and it wants us to complete the test. So I go here, begin test by clicking on the begin button here, and then I go through and I start answering the questions. There's blue, I save the answer. Remember, the presentation is one at a time with no backtracking. So I scroll here to the next question. Blue is the best color. I believe it's true, so I'll go ahead and select my answer, then save answer. And then this will be the last question. This will be the essay question. I have to explain why blue is the best color. And I put in, again, you can put in whatever you want in here. And I'm just going to put here for presentation purposes, blue is the best color. It's the color of the sky and the ocean. And then save and submit. Then I get the pop-up that says test submission confirmation. click OK to submit assessment. So I'm going to click OK here, and I've submitted my test. Now I've completed the test under student preview, and I'm just going to exit the student preview by clicking the exit preview button right there. And that's it for badge number 4.